Michael.
Why don't you start off?
Okay. I'm Laurie Handlers, and I'm speaking today with Michael Gibson, who is representing the Academy for Men, which is Butterfly Workshops Academy for Men, a co-creation, if you will. And today we're going to speak about Just Add Skill for Men. Michael has a new course coming up. It's an online 6-week course coming to you in January, and we're going to talk about what it is, why you would want to take it if you're a man, and what you can expect to get from it. So, Michael, what is Just Add Skill? What does that mean, Just Add Skill?
If a man has a skill, if you have a skill that you've learned over your lifetime, and I'm sure you have, then I would have to say that you've already got some skill. But and I want to honor that in men. I want to honor the fact that these men who have become lovers or good lovers, they have really worked hard to find out what they did find out. And some of them learned it from all kinds of different places, but it took their lives to be able to experience those things. And so I honor that. And what I say is, you know what? We can just add some more skill. That's all we need to do is add a few more skills. And I think the difference between being a good lover and being an extraordinary lover is just a little extra.
Well, you did some surveys where you found out that women were not as satisfied in their sexual encounters as men seem to be.
Yeah.
And you thought, wow, men are in the dark about this.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the problem here? Like men, what I figure is that women don't have permission to tell the truth, that men don't actually want to hear the truth because it would hurt their ego or something, that no one talks about anything, they just kind of fumble in the dark.
Yeah.
So was that your motivation for starting this Just Add Skill?
Part of it was. I've been writing a book called The Talk Your Parents Never Gave You, and as I was writing that book, I had been taking surveys of people asking them simple sexual questions. I asked really good ones too. For instance, how many sexual partners have you had in your lifetime? And people counted them up, they were counting them up, and then I said, okay, take that and extrapolate it, and how many times did you have sex in your lifetime? The discoveries that I made were shocking to me. I really got it when I found this information out. One of the things that I asked was, if you could take all of the lovers that you'd ever had and all of the sexual experiences that you'd ever had, what percentage of those sexual experiences were a level 10, were top notch, were like out of this world, right?
Very little.
Oh my gosh.
Very few.
So, right, and that's what I discovered. And I asked men, I said, how about you guys? And men came back, and after I did all the numbers and averaged it out, men said about 30% of the time they would have a level 10 experience with a woman. I asked women the same question, and it came back at 2 to 5%. Now there's a huge gap in what men are experiencing and what women are experiencing.
Yes.
And once I discovered that, I started asking questions. Well, what would it make? What does it take for you to have a level 10 experience?
And the number one answer was presence.
Women, without a doubt, respond to presence. A man who can be present with her. And so that's what you can expect to learn in Just Add Skill.
So that's the number one thing. You teach men how to be present. And then once you teach them how to be present, you actually teach them some hard skills.
Yeah.
Some skills that they call hard skills. Those are hands-on skills.
Technique, how to touch a woman's body.
How to read the body.
And then the other way is through communication. Communication can be very erotic. And it also is telling. So those things that women don't want to express because men are just supposed to know.
Oh.
it's the
They were. I was brought up like that.
It's the big cosmic joke.
It's ridiculous.
Men are just supposed to know. So if a woman says to a man, I like it like this and not like that, what the man is also caught in that same cultural dilemma. I'm just supposed to know. I know that, but men don't.
Yeah, they don't.
So it's
a cosmic joke.
That's where the Just Add Skill comes in. But even more importantly is that I also teach men how to be that masculine for women, because we need to know how to hold space. A woman who's in your space, okay, if she doesn't feel safe, she's not going to be the goddess. She will never get there.
I once did a radio show with a man and one of my students in New York, and the name of the show was "Build the Temple and She Will Come." And so his whole apartment
Wow.
in Brooklyn
Yeah.
was a goddess temple.
Wow.
And he was waiting. He was all set up. I mean,
Yeah.
he knew how to build an altar. He knew how to build his space magnificently, so a woman goddess would show up.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Yeah.
And that's what I teach. That's part of what I teach. Giving men the logistics, right?
How to.
Have these many towels laid out. Have some water laid out. There, you need pillows. You need like all these things that you should have for a goddess, and a luxurious robe. All those things that women really do.
They appreciate the detail.
Yeah.
They say that it's in the details.
It's in the details.
So, okay, so you're going to have a 6-week course online.
Right.
And you're going to teach men these skills of presence and technique, etc. You're going to teach them how to, I hope you're going to teach them how to go slow.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's, to me, the number one thing women say. Women say presence is the number one skill they want. But women also say they want slow. They want everything to slow down, slow-mo.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So,
thank you for bringing that up. That is so huge.
yeah.
I think what happens with men is that our animal can be triggered really easily, and we come out as just this powerful, and women love that powerful sexual man, like that. But you can do it slow.
So women like slow touch. They like slow build. They like conversation.
Right.
They like all those things. So these are all the things that you cover.
Absolutely.
In this course.
I cover things to say. I cover how to be observant, how to describe her body parts to her, showing that you're very attentive. You're looking. You're seeing. I like the way you just moved. Ooh,
I'm getting excited
You responded
now.
to that. Ooh, I like that.
Stop.
But that's
I'm
a part.
trying to interview you.
I get it. It's part of it,
Yeah.
and women respond very well, as just you did. But women respond very well to that, and it's part of the skill that men need to learn to be able to develop them, to make them extraordinary. It's just a little bit more. That's all it is.
Do the men who participate have to have partners?
No, they do not.
Okay. And will there be a time when you have like a live demo on the online part?
It's a recorded demo,
Okay.
but I walk them through it.
Okay, that's good.
And
Yeah.
so we've done some videos. I have a terrific.
So they get to see women's body parts.
Yep. Well, they're going to see everything.
Okay.
All the technique. They'll see her expressions, how she responds to touch. They'll see it all, and I actually direct and show where to touch and what these different things are. I think one of the most important parts of the training is when we go into the anatomy. So I take a deep dive into a woman's anatomy, all of her pleasure points, which are all interconnected, and also her erogenous zones. And you can take those pleasure points and you can group them into erogenous zones, and you can actually see how, when you manipulate those or when you touch her body that way, she responds elsewhere in the other parts of her body. And then we also talk about the chemistry. What's happening when she's on your table and you're providing that pleasure in her body chemically? She's getting oxytocin, all the things, right? Dopamine, it's all there. So,
can I just say
Sure,
something? I have to
please.
just say something. This is like, to me, this is like the obvious, but it may not be that obvious. So I'm going to say it. When a woman is treated to the kind of pampering or the kind of touch that builds and is part of a man having these skills, there really isn't anything she wouldn't do back. Like a woman who gets so satisfied that she feels satiated and full will usually want to return that. And so men are sometimes worried about, well, if I give her so much, like, when am I going to get mine? And I just want you all to know that it's a given. Like, don't focus on yourself and you'll see.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a gift. Being able to be that level of lover consistently, And I do make guarantees. I tell men, I say, after you go through my course, you'll be giving your women level 7 or above sex.
Every time.
Every single time. And as you become more in tune with her body and understand what really gets her turned on, and not every woman's the same. So these techniques, it's not for every woman. But the techniques work, and if you're present, you'll see what works, and she'll train you and teach you without having to say a word. You'll be able to learn these things for your beloved. And if you have multiple lovers, you'll be able to see that you can be just as present with each and every one of them. So it does span across multiple relationships.
It
It's
does.
really beautiful. So
Okay, anything else? Any last minute
well,
tip?
let's talk about a student that came back
Yes.
and reported. One of the things that he shared was that his experience, or the woman that he had spent time with, reported back to him that she had never been touched like that before. Ever. That she had never had lovemaking like that before. That it didn't matter. I mean, he was
Present.
fully present each and every time. And
She said she didn't want to go out. They were in an exotic place, and she said she didn't want to go out. She would rather stay in and experience more lovemaking from him than actually have the experience of the place they were in.
Right. And the other thing that he mentioned, he said, I thought it would take years to become like masterful. And he goes, he just did the 6-week course.
That's right.
Me. And he reported back. He goes, I all I can say is thank you.
Yeah.
He said that
I've earned my stripes.
Right.
Yeah.
He actually did provide her level 10 sexual experiences consistently.
And he was not a guy who had had a lot of experience before.
Right. Yeah.
So you took sort of a newbie person and made him into an extraordinary lover.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He walks now with a swag. He's different. He's totally different.
Yeah, and I'm so humbled and honored to have been able to do that. So, that's what you're in for.
You too can have that. All right. So how you get in touch with Michael about this course is to go to
justadskill.com. There are dates and events of when we're going to start our next program, and you'll find that there.
Cost is $397 per person, $397 US per person, and you can join in this course from anywhere in the world. You don't have to be in the US. You can be anywhere and take the course.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and the beautiful thing about it is that I do set it up on a Zoom, so you get access to the video after we're done.
Yeah.
And you'll have several men in the course with you. We'll all be working together.
So, and there'll be questions and answers.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Great. Michael, thank you so much. Thanks for doing what you're doing in the world.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Lori.